Dreadnought enters closed beta, Daybreak believes early access is a good thing, all that and more. I'm Zach Sharps and this is Free to Play Weekly. First up in the news this week, shortly after their pickup of the highly anticipated MMO Bless Online, it appears Aria Games will be publishing X-Legend Entertainment's free-to-play fantasy MMO twin Saga here in the West. Taking on the role of an orphaned human, you'll be the last hope for humanity's survival after the long war between twin goddesses. The game will feature an upgradable mobile housing system called Terra Cottages, which can be used as transportation as well as a base for profession development. If you're into anime-inspired titles, it seems like it will be at least interesting from the Terra Cottages perspective, and if you wish to sign up for beta, you can do so on their freshly launched website. If being the commander of a massive battleship in an ever-expanding sci-fi universe is your thing, then you'll be happy to hear that the free-to-play title Dreadnought has entered closed beta. Players wishing to get into this beta have a few options, but just like all betas of recent memory, some will cost you a bit. First of which is to simply head on over to their website and sign up to possibly receive access, and the other is to pick up one of the two Founders Packs now available in the Dreadnought shop. Luckily, these packs are by far some of the fairest priced I've seen, with an entry pack sitting at $10 and the top one sitting at $40. Dreadnought seems like a spectacle, but I'll personally be waiting until the official launch for this one. What do you guys think? On this show, I like to discuss some random studies with you guys, particularly because I find them very interesting and I hope you do as well. This time, gaming research firm Delta DNA has released insight into the spending habits of free-to-play's biggest spenders. The study indicates that while whales do provide much of a free-to-play game's income, it usually comes from multiple smaller purchases than from a small amount of expensive purchases. Since July 2015, players who spent at least $100, 54% never spent more than $50 at one time, and among players who spent more than $1,000, 20% never spent more than $50 at one time. My conclusion, they lose track of how much they're spending, and by the end of it, they've spent a whole lot of money. Hell, that's happened to me once before, but never to that extreme. Pretty interesting stuff, I'd say. Speaking of interesting stuff, Daybreak Games decided to be Daybreak Games this week, and as it appears they feel early access is good for the entire industry. Chief Publishing Officer at Daybreak, Laura Naviak-Stur, stated the following while talking with Games Industry. You really have to commit as a developer. The development team really has to ingest that feedback into the workflow and be able to pivot and course correct and make adjustments. And I think that's one of the things that Daybreak does really well, is that we are fairly nimble. We've been doing games as a service since our inception. It's in our DNA. You guys heard it, the folks who said buy EverQuest Landmark to build EverQuest Next with them, then canceled EverQuest Next, and the same people who barely progressed H1Z1 split it in 2 games for double the cost, then put it on sale recently for 35% off, think early access is great for the industry. Before I go on a huge rant, it's time for the question of the week. Last week on the show, I asked you guys which games do you want to go free to play and why. A user by the name of Nocturion stated the following. I wish Black Desert was free to play. Their cash shop is already free to play looking, so it wouldn't be much of a change. Also, a major part of the community was already expecting them to be free at launch like their foreign counterparts, so it's really baffling that they went the buy to play route. I think a lot of folks would agree with that, and I saw Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV mentioned a good bit in the comments below as well, all of which would do really great under the free-to-play model in my opinion. That said, if you want your comment possibly featured in next week's episode, leave a comment down below. This week's question is, do you think early access is good for the industry and why? Curious what you guys have to say about the subject, and look forward to reading your comments as always. Last up in the news this week, we get to end on a good note, folks, because the free-to-play strategy collectible card game Duelyst has officially launched. Yes, that is correct. A game that offers a variety of competitive modes, including a ranked season ladder, practice mode, and more, is available for you to get your hands on right now. To celebrate the release of the game, Counterplay released some sexy new trailers for you guys to watch, and overall, when it comes to Duelyst, I've been fairly competitive in ranked without spending a dime. The game is great. I love everything about it, largely due to the fact that the game's practice mode gives you a good bit of in-game currency if you go through it, so definitely recommend hitting that up, but it's a really fun title. I cannot do anything more than recommend it. You know what also should be celebrated? Giveaways, of course. Yes, let's push to make Saturday a national holiday because giveaways are just that damn awesome. Be sure to head on over to the giveaways page, bookmark it, make love to it, and be sure to check it daily so it never gets lonely. As always, be sure to tweet at my face at Zach Sharps. Signing out till next week's show, I'm Zach Sharps, and I'll catch you guys next time.